welcome to the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast. This week we got Alex, Corey, Jason, Jaimen, Tim, and Evan should be here shortly. No Randy tonight. So there were two New England Team Challenge matches this weekend. The DisCaptains were at Bellamy, if I'm correct, and Stonykillers had a neutral match. Who'd you guys play, Alex?
We played against the Crane Toads at 501, which is, for us, it was a neutral, but it's also our finals location for this year. So it was a practice round for that.
So why don't we start there? How'd that go?
Not great. So the non-disc golf stuff was great. Pretty smooth to get everybody to where they needed to be. 501's a pretty cool course. Gorgeous weather, mid-50s. A little bit of wind, which is a little bit annoying, but nothing crazy there. We ended up doing like a joint spread because it was a neutral. Their team brought stuff, our team brought stuff, so we had a ton of food, but I guess we'll start with singles matchups. Things went reasonably smooth there. Going into the match, we knew if we won, we were a lock for playoffs. That we were very sure of. If we lost, though, I went through a lot of the potential things that could happen. If we lost by just a little bit, then we would still have points percentage on both of the other possible teams that could make it into finals at that point. So we'd be in no matter what. If we lost by a lot, then we'd get jumped by both teams just based off points percentage. But the other team, so the fifth out of the four potential spots, would have needed to win their match on Sunday in order to, actually make the points percentage relevant.
What was your record going into this match?
We were 4-2 going into this one.
Okay.
So this is the Crane Toads board. They have magnetic tape going across there, but it means that things are a little bit limited on space. So you can see in the singles, it loops over onto the other board and things. Yeah, so going down through everything, on paper, the match looked pretty even. They weren't doing anything too crazy. We weren't doing anything too crazy. So coming back from singles and having everybody tied up was just about what we expected it to be. We would have liked to get a couple more, but they played well and can't really fault us for going point for point at a neutral. That's kind of what you're thinking is going to happen.
How much of a heads up did Randy give you that he wasn't going to make it?
Oh, like months. Like this was something that he had been planning for a while.
So not like Corey when he goes skiing where he just lets you know like the Thursday before kind of thing?
We knew Randy wasn't going to be there. It was just definitely a hit for our squad. He's a very strong player, but we were still pretty confident. We've got a lot of strong players on the team.
So how'd your match go, your singles match?
Not great. So, it started off relatively smooth. I think I dropped a point and then got it back. And then towards the middle nine, once we started getting things going, he started really kind of blowing up. He was really struggling to get off the tee. So he was constantly off in the rough and having to scramble. So I ended up taking a couple of points there, but there were a couple of ones where he was, really struggling. And then, I hit a tree on a putt that rolled back to 60 feet. So that was +2 strokes right there to push instead of take that hole. And then there was another one where I just missed something that should have been pretty simple and screwed that up and didn't end up getting a point. So as we were getting down to the end of it, he had actually taken a few back on me. And I think he was up 1 with 2 left. We started on hole 4. So we had to go back, we played the May the 4th Be With You layout at 501, which was a front runner for what the layout's going to be for finals, which is all short baskets except a handful of par 4s, which are the long baskets.
Who determines that? What layouts will be played at finals?
Captain's decision. Generally, it's something you are picking based on time restrictions because you've got to get up to 3 matches done in one day. So you want to do something that's going to go relatively quickly. And I don't know if you've played 501, but the blues are pretty dang rough.
No, I have not. I was going to ask you, in fact. I assume you had played it before.
I had not played 501 going into this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a cool course. I like it a lot. A lot of the blues feel like par 3.5s for me, which is rough. But to get back to where I was. So we have hole 2 and 3 as our final holes. Hole 2 is a par 4, reasonably long, reasonably out in the open. My first throw wasn't great, ended up a little bit in the weeds. Second throw got me relatively close. Third one got me to about 25 feet, and he was sitting 4. So if I made my putt, then I would take the hole, and we'd have to play the last one and figure out what's going to happen there. I was able to make that putt, took that hole, and we went into hole 3 as straight up even. So whatever happened on hole 3, that's what was going to happen for our match. I took the hole before, so I had to go first. Threw a nice little forehand. hooked around a tree and put myself to about 15 feet. He steps up right behind me, does pretty much the exact same thing. He's about a foot closer to the basket than me, so I had to stress the 15-footer first. But realistically, it wasn't too much stress. I was feeling good about the putt. Made that. He made his. We pushed the round.
All right.
I played with Chad against Dave, and Chad, as ever, is just a super smooth player. Not a ton of birdies for him on this course, but basically no bogeys because he's just, super consistent, stays in the fairway, gets done what he needs to get done, and he ended up taking that 3 and 2. He had a couple of bits of advice because I hadn't played the last few holes that he was able to pass on before he went back to get some lunch, but he passed that on to me, and it was a nice little moment there.
All right, so you're tied halfway through. Is this the last weekend that there are any regular season matchups?
Pretty much. For our case, it absolutely was. There theoretically could be some next week for different pools, but for our pool, pretty much everybody was playing this weekend as their neutral.
Diamonds at Newton Hill, was that? Oh, that was the next day.
Yeah, like I was talking about before, that's the match that mattered. If we lost this match, we need Newton to lose to Maple Hill, because if Newton beat Maple Hill, they would jump us in points percentage.
You already kind of went over the lunch and such because it was a neutral.
Yeah. Nice little split spread. They had some very nice things. We kind of discussed with them. They're pretty local to 501. So we talked to them and kind of split things up where they were bringing a lot of like the hot food and like anything in a crock pot and things like that was going to be from them, while we were bringing, desserts and plates and, drinks and stuff like that, where our longer trip wasn't going to be as affected by, hot food and stuff like that. They had buffalo chicken dip, which is always a classic. Mix that with some mac and cheese. They had pigs in a blanket, which is, everybody was liking that as a choice. And people really liked what we brought, which was Uncrustables, because they weren't familiar with the Uncrustable tech for Team Challenge. But
that's crazy.
They are now.
Well, let me ask you, with Uncrustables, when you buy them, they're frozen. Is that correct?
Yep.
How far is this trip to 501 for you?
Hour and a half or so, right about that.
At what point do you take them out of the freezer?
I think we just took them out in the morning. I don't think we did anything too fancy with that. The marketing is that they'll thaw in a lunchbox by lunchtime.
Okay. So you're talking about like an hour and a half drive and then a few hours of disc golf playing.
Sitting in the sun. Yeah. It's going to be fine.
Okay. I've been meaning to ask that for, I don't know, a year now. Every time we bring it up, because I'm like, aren't those things frozen? All right. Yeah. So it looks like there's 11 matches. Am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So somebody needs 6 matches to win the match, basically.
Correct. Yep. So we were going into it. We were trying to figure out what we wanted to do with teams. Sort of our traditional approach got split up because, we've got some big partners that are normally, classic pairings. Like you got Tyler and Randy. That's always a doubles partnership, except there's no Randy. And then, you've got a couple of other things that, are classics, but it doesn't quite work out that they're playing together today. So we ended up mixing some things up. And I think we figured out that we're not going to do that. We're going to stick with, some classic pairings as much as possible.
Sounds to me like Randy really screwed things up this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm blaming everything on. But yeah, so we definitely want to do better in doubles. But given everything else that happened, it ends up not worrying us too much. But again, kind of getting ahead of myself. We played blues all the way across for doubles, which, like I was saying, a lot of those for like my level of skill, I just don't have a chance to birdie a lot of those. And it's really difficult to get scoring separation on a course where there are so few birdies to be had, because it's just like everybody gets a par in doubles. You're never going to have too many situations where both players are going to be, so out of position that they have to take a bogey. But that's pretty much just what we did, is we just went smooth, par, 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 par. They got a birdie or two that we didn't, and that ended up being the difference. They were up 1 going into the last hole, and we ended up bogeying it just because we were trying to go super aggressive to try and get the birdie, but it just wasn't there. So they ended up taking that one down by 2, and we were one of the first ones in. So I start marking down some names, and people just keep coming in as losses for us, and it's so worrying. You have to win. The number ended up being, if we won 5, then we'd be into playoffs with no stress. If we won 6, then we'd win the match, so we'd definitely be in with no stress. But if we didn't get 5 wins, then we'd have to worry about the match that was happening on Sunday. And Yeah, it didn't take too long before we were mathematically eliminated from getting 5 wins, which, considering how close a lot of these scores were, it's a little bit frustrating, but, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, it looks like 2 is the most common win.
Yeah.
There's like 4 or 5 of them that are 2 strokes. Yeah, they're all pretty tight.
Yeah, and I imagine a lot of them were, situations where like you're only back by 1, so you got to go aggressive and screw something up on the last hole. But yeah, I know Carly, she had sprained her ankle a while back. She's still dealing with that. I think Kat said something about a herniated disc in her neck, which is, impressive that she was able to play through that.
Because she went out dancing because Randy's out of town? That's fair. Yeah.
Probably. But yeah, super impressive that she was able to do that. So, we're going to rest, we're going to heal up, and we're going to take this experience and do better in finals.
So the other match, the Diamonds beat Newton Hill?
Yeah, on paper, that should have been a pretty solid win for Maple Hill, which is what we wanted. It's what we expected. But looking back, the previous month's match, like the March match for Maple Hill, was up against Wedge, who was a 2-4 team going into that, or 2-3 team or something like that. And Wedge ended up taking that one down. So it was really impressive to see that happen. I think they were actually 1-4 going into that match. And they won that one against, one of the best teams in the pool that was, certainly favored to be moving up. So we were a little bit worried that Maple Hill was going to, take a dive or something, or not intentionally take a dive, but, screw something up and end up losing that one.
Well, it's near the end of the year. They're in finals. They might take their eye off the ball. Not necessarily throw anything, but, slack off.
Yeah. But turns out we didn't need to stress too much. I was keeping track of the live scoring the whole weekend, and they ended up winning by a solid chunk. So finals ended up being Oak Ridge as the 1 seed, Maple Hill as the 2 seed. Crane Toads got the 3 seed on points percentage, and we are the 4 seed.
So both Oak Ridge and Maple Hill are 6-1, but Oak Ridge is like 3+ points higher, and the Crane Toads both at 4-3, but they got you by 1.5 in points percentage.
Yeah, you think back to situations where we might have gotten a couple more points, and the February match starts to stick out a bit.
Yeah.
To clarify, that was the one we ended up forfeiting to Oak Ridge, which ended up being, 18 points for Oak Ridge, 0 points for us in the points percentage, which,
I don't know much about Oak Ridge, but Maple Hill, they were undefeated most of the year. So that means you avoid them, though, right? In the first round.
In the first round, yeah.
So in a way, maybe that's a little fortunate.
So the thought is, if we had taken it to a tight match against Oak Ridge, then theoretically the Diamonds would jump them. Because they got such a big boost out of the points from the forfeit. But who knows? And, like we're going to have to beat either Oak Ridge or Diamonds if we want to move up this year. Like one of them is going to have to be beaten.
I guess what I'm saying is it was Oak Ridge, right? The forfeit?
Yeah. Yep.
So you play them and you beat them, you're probably playing them 2-3. Instead, you're now playing them 1-4. So it kind of worked out either way.
Yeah, probably ends up being pretty dang similar.
So Chainsbury and Devons get relegated?
Yes, they are the only 2 1-6s. Wedge was in danger of being relegated at one point, but then at 1-4, they beat Maple Hill to go to 2-4, and then they beat, I believe it was Devons in the neutral to get to 3-4 to make it not even a stressful setup.
So they don't get the finals, but they're not going anywhere, so that's good.
Yep.
And the finals is April 12th?
April 12th.
At 5:01?
Yep. We elected to not change the finals date, which, I appreciate the consistency of not changing the finals date, but it also screwed with New York Team Challenge finals because East Pool did change their finals date, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we're the classic second weekend in April, and that's how it's going to go.
And what's the format there?
So finals, so to start off, it'll be 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3. You're both going to be playing on the same course at the same time. You split up singles and doubles. So it's however you want to throw it out. Like you can throw out a doubles pair, which they have to match with the doubles pair, or you can throw out a singles match and they have to match with a singles match. But you just go down through and it's, half singles, half doubles. If you win a match in doubles, you get 2 points. If you win a match in singles, you get 1 point. So whoever wins that match plays whoever won the other match. Whoever lost plays whoever lost. And then you'll have one team at 2-0, 2 teams at 1-1, and 1 team at 0-2. 0-2 gets to go home. 2-0 gets to go home, but they are moving up because they got to 2 wins. And then the 1-1 teams play a third match to determine who else gets to move up.
Right.
I like 501. Like I said, the blues are very difficult layout. I don't mind the par fours as much, but my team was saying I don't mind them as much because I throw far. But yeah, a lot of those holes in doubles, the par threes, just felt like unless I throw an absolutely perfect shot, I'm not getting a birdie on these. So I'm thinking that we're probably either going to play straight greens, which is the short layout, or the May the 4th layout where it's mostly greens with a couple of blues on the par fours for finals. So I think that's going to be relatively well suited for our team.
Heck yeah. So that's the D pool. Let's class it up a bit and move up to the C pool. Jaimen, you guys played at Bellamy. What was your record going in? What was theirs?
We were both 3-3 going into our match.
All right. So basically, finals was still in play as far as getting in or not.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bellamy and us were both at 3-3. We had our chances at finals, and then Rhode Island was also 3-3 with a chance at finals, and then Borderland is 2-4 with still an outside chance at finals. So going into the match, our attitude was, if we win, we're in finals. There's no way to not get in finals if we win. So that's our goal. Bellamy is a really kind of hinky little course. It's 18 holes, probably put on 10 acres. It's super small. It's very Crandall-y, where it's big pine forests, but the holes are longer. So you're looking at shots that sometimes you don't really see how anybody could actually get through, and the locals think the same on some of them. But yeah, it was a good match. We had a great showing for our team. The scheduling for this one was kind of tricky, kind of like last minute scheduling thing. And I wasn't 100% sure how many people we were going to get. So we showed up there with 19-3. That was awesome. I think this year 19-3 was the lowest amount of people we had for a match. So that's awesome. Never showing up with less than 19 people, only having 3 people out at a time.
Since I started doing it, I don't remember having so many like 3.5 hour plus drives. Like in the past 3 or 4 years or whatever. Definitely like the longest driving season.
Oh, 100%. This season, Bellamy was essentially the closest course.
And where's that?
Dover, New Hampshire. It's like on the ocean. It's not close. Yeah, we had 2 teams in New Hampshire, 1 team in Maine, 2 teams in Eastern Mass at Borderland and Dacey, and then 1 on Rhode Island and 1 on Cape.
And the Airbnb we stayed at for this Bellamy match was in Maine. So it wasn't like we were in the west side of New Hampshire. No.
Yeah, it was in Maine, and it was 10 minutes away from the course. So yeah, this season has been a slog. So for everybody who's been able to get out there the entire time, that's been really, really awesome to see. Just looking at who's coming down into C pool and kind of the people who are in B pool, if we can get into there, that's no matter what we do next season, we're going to have less drives. Everybody in finals for D pool is Central Mass or closer. So that's cool. And then the 2 teams coming down from B pool, 2 of them are in Central Mass, one's in Eastern Mass, and then one's actually at Bellamy also. So I hope those guys don't come down. We'll see what happens. But so anyways, our match started off pretty well. Matchups went kind of as well as they can when you're doing matches against an away team. That magic number of 19-3 kind of puts the away team at about as big of a disadvantage as they can be with matchups, just because how matchups can go and the different things that you can do. The home team has choice on how all of that plays out in singles. So matchups went pretty good. I had a pretty good round. I was playing with Jasan, which is always fun.
Going into this match, you had no chance of relegation, right?
Yes. Yeah, we had no chance. There's 2 and 5 teams. So Dacey Owls and Queen City are out. Dacey Owls got up into C pool for 1 year and they were immediately turned around. And yeah, Queen City's been in C pool. This was their 2nd year, but they're back down to D also. So another 2 really far away teams who are getting out of C pool. That's cool. Although we're hoping to get out of C pool too.
Well, I was going to say, but worst case scenario, Alex and their crew is going to replace them. So that's not very far.
No, I would love to have you guys in C pool. Come on up.
Would you rather they be in C pool or would you rather you be in B pool?
Ooh, I would rather be in B pool.
All right. I like it. So your match looks pretty tight.
I once again miscounted the score, but this time it was in my favor. So it was a close match. I was playing against one of their captains, Joel. Super nice guy. Very smooth lefty. So Bellamy is a course that I found really suited a lefty, but it was also because I was just having to chase one down for the entire first round. So I got to see the lefty side of the course pretty well. I've been trying more and more to compare away course holes to holes that I know, and I think that the people I'm playing with will know. And I told Brian, who I played with second round, and Jason first round, probably several times, that this hole reminds me of hole 16 at FDR. Just that straight shot through a tight gap, and you needed to go right at the end. That felt like a good portion of the course. Maybe not as much as I'm thinking right now, but 2-3 holes definitely.
So like 16 white.
Yeah, 16 white, sorry. That's kind of the tree density you're looking at on a lot of the courts, I felt like, except the trees are bigger and slightly more spread apart, but being bigger and a little farther apart evens out pretty well. So we were battling it out the whole time. A lot of back and forth. I would take a couple holes, he would take a couple holes. Neither of us were really making big mistakes, but no crazy fireworks or anything like that. And then somehow when we switched from the front nine to the back nine, I had miscounted something, so I thought that we were even starting on hole 1, and I was 1 up. So I spent the last 7 holes thinking, oh crap, like we're even. I need to kind of get ahead of him. And then we got to the last hole, actually, hole 9, and I was like, all right, so we're even? And he's like, no, you're 1 up. I was like, shit. Which is, really nice to be winning, but again, I wish I could remember that I was winning. Still got to work on paying a little bit more attention.
You fixed it in the right direction.
Yeah.
You're not going to be aware, at least be in the lead. So that's
what Jason said too. He's like, it could be worse.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so in that last hole, I was able to put it close enough to make him try too hard, and he messed that up. And so I finished my round 2 up.
Nice. And you played with Jason. Jason, how'd your match go?
Yeah, I played against a kid named Taylor. He's pretty good. I was a little bit off my game, and he ended up just smoking me. So yeah, it was fun playing with Jaimen. I tried to keep like a positive outlook on the course the whole time we were there. But now that I'm home, I'll just say I think the course is kind of garbage. Like, it's really fluky and like probably the most unsafe course I've ever been on. The holes overlap everywhere. There's like hazards everywhere for people to get hurt.
I played Buzzies a couple weeks ago, Jason. That's something to live up to. I don't know if you've heard of that one. That's crazy.
Yeah, there was like casuals. Like there was a couple kids near us and stuff too. We had to wait through, and there was a few holes I really liked on the course, so it wasn't all bad. But now I'm home, kind of reflecting on it. It also was like kind of birdie or die, and then some of it was just really random. But yeah, I was off my game. Kid ended up crushing me. It was probably like actually I know it's the biggest loss I've had since I've ever played Team Challenge. But
is it still you're having trouble off the tee pad, or what kind of troubles were you having?
Not so much that. I've been working on that. I've pretty much like fixed that most of the time, but just struggled to get some momentum. It wasn't like awful, but he was just like birdieing everything. Mm-hmm. And I think we pushed twice. So, I mean, I got a couple holes on him, but he was just, every time I got a par, I lost the hole, and it sucked.
And that was your first time playing there?
I played there 10 years ago in snow. And I remember getting out of the car and throwing a disc on hole 1 and losing it 10 years ago. And it looks way different when there's no snow there. Honestly, some of the holes I'm surprised I didn't remember. Like there's this one hole where there's this pretty decent sized stream on the left, and it really comes into play. I ended up getting a couple discs in there, but I'm surprised I didn't remember that because it's a pretty iconic hole that you'd think you would remember. But I kind of remember it being fluky. I remember like 10 years ago, I played against some guy that was throwing a lefty thumber on like every single hole and parking it, and just kind of blowing my mind of like, how is he doing this? And then going back there, I kind of remembered, oh yeah, there's these weird lines that you wouldn't see with normal shots. But yeah, it was fun. I love playing with Jaimen. He won't mention it, so I'll say that he did eagle a hole. That was pretty cool to watch.
It didn't matter.
The other, I mean, he could have like laid up like 6 times and still got the hole, I think. But
was it a lefty thumber?
No, that one was par 4. So it was probably 2 lefty thumbers and he would have got there. But it was a good time.
So you guys are 1-1. Corey, how did you go? Or were you skiing or something?
No, I was there. I did play there before. Like I said, we were there 2 years ago. So I kind of remembered how fluky the course was. Wasn't as surprising. But when we were there last time, it was like literally 50 degrees colder. So I was just happy to not have to like play on icy tee pads. And by the end of the day, we were playing in t-shirts basically. So I played against a kid named Jake, I believe. We started on the back nine, and that's probably where I don't know if the back nine has a better chance to like. I would say the front nine is probably more birdieable. So we start on the back nine, and I had got an early point on him, and he gets 2 back on me. The last part of that back nine, he was kind of struggling, getting some tough breaks, either like a roll away or a tree head, or just coming up a little low on the cage on a putt. So I was able to come out of the back nine up 1. But then when we got to the front nine of the course, he basically figured out whatever was holding him back. And kind of like Jason said, like if any hole that I parred, I was definitely going to lose. The ones I was birdieing, he was getting birdies as well. So I lost my match, I think 3-2. I played with Parker Cerrone, where he kind of had the opposite match, I think. I think in the beginning, he was kind of struggling, and his opponent was able to get a few points on him. But once the back nine came, he was kind of just started lighting it up and was able to finish his match 4-2, which might be one of the few times, or maybe one of the only times, that my singles round has ended both cards on the same hole, or the entire card on the same hole. It's like we all walked back to the pavilion or the lunch spot at the same time.
So how was their lunch?
C-.
It was better than the course. I had some good items, but not many of them. And I think I gave out more beers than I didn't really see where any beverages were. Even like, did they have waters? I didn't even see waters really.
They did have water.
They have any juice?
I didn't see anything else but water.
No polar seltzer?
No polar seltzer? I was just going to ask.
Nope.
No, but I think they did have those polar ice. Is it like polar ice? Those tall, skinny bottles? Or is that too juicy?
Like seltzer in like a liter bottle?
No, not those. There's like I know what you're talking about, but I didn't pay any attention to them, and I don't know what they are.
Whatever they are. The spread wasn't that great. They did have some like steak egg rolls that were pretty good. But other than that, there was like, I think they had like 2 different styles of macaroni and cheese. Both were like meh. And like some elbow macaroni with sauce. And some, they had good cookies and brownies, I think, and Cocoa Crispy treats. But
yeah, it did not seem like their entire team brought something. I'll say that. I had like a bowl of macaroni and cheese and then ate a bunch of fruit and then did matchups. Yeah, our team got a ton of practice putting in because there wasn't anything to eat for lunch.
Any comments, Jason?
No, I think they nailed it as far as spread.
And since Jeff wasn't there, there was no rate the spread post, so we didn't get outside feedback.
Is he harsh? Would he give him worse than a C-?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so it looks like it was 11-11, same as Stonykillers, right? After round 1?
Yeah, crazy, right?
Anybody else looking at the whiteboard? Was it the little asterisks near people's...
Oh, normalize this. Jaimen, mention this in the captain's chats, whatever ones you're in.
I'm going to forget it as soon as this podcast is done. So what those stars are is who's supposed to go first on the card. Usually, and I do this all the time, I'll just write all the cards down out quick and then send people out with just the understanding that one team is supposed to go first in each match. And this is only on the first hole. So, like, does it matter at all? Probably not. But let's say me and Jason's card, I think Jason went first, and then the guy that I was playing went first in our own matches.
I think get that backwards, but
Oh, I probably do.
But your team's flip-flopped who went first, basically. Is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yep, exactly. And then after 9 holes, for people who haven't played Match Play or Team Challenge, you switch the order. So then the opposite pairing goes first. So not like one pair of guys has the box the whole time or anything.
So just to clarify, Jason played this guy Taylor. Taylor's got the asterisk, so that means Taylor goes first, then Jason, then Joel, then you?
No,
No.
then me, then Joel.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I clarified it then. Okay, makes sense.
by each team having at least one person that goes first, it balances it out because there's certain scenarios where whoever throws first could be like a slight advantage to the hole. Like let's say Jaimen goes first and he hits first available and goes OB, then his opponent knows, okay, I can maybe like play this a little bit more safe and just take a point with par.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be like a slight advantage to it. So by balancing it where each team has a card that goes first, it just keeps it fair.
Now, when you get to that 9 holes halfway through, then the 10th hole, it's whoever has the box at that point?
Yes.
Okay. So it would be Jaimen's team, but whoever has the box would still go first.
Right.
Of those 2 people. Okay. Yeah. I'm just double checking.
Yeah. It's like tricky to explain, but once you do it once, it's just
Absolutely.
like knee jerk. For captains, if you know who went first, you can get more information from looking at a board. There's a lot of stuff that can be gleaned from that. And sometimes you're just going off of inferences based on what you would do yourself and assuming that they did that as well. But there's a lot that can be figured out from that.
Thank you.
I think that stuff's cool to hear because, at least in my experience in New York Team Challenge, there's some misconceptions about who should throw first. I think some people think the home team automatically goes first, or, is it the person who was thrown out first, that kind of thing.
Yeah, if nothing's written, and nothing almost ever is, I try to write it in the right order. So like I would write it Taylor, Jason, Jaimen, Joel to kind of let them figure it out.
If I'm going out with any card, however it's listed, that's how we're going to throw. So chances are that's going to work. Yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, if it's not written like that or whatever, I just say, hey, as long as one of us goes first and the other guy goes first on the other thing, then it's whatever,
Right.
But that was smart. I do like that they did that because in doubles, I don't know if it creates that much of an advantage, but it's a blind spot because in singles, there's 2 matches on one card, but in doubles, there's 1. So there's a chance that everybody on the other team could convince, you that, no, everybody else is going. And then one whole team goes first and that changes things. I don't know if that made any sense.
No, absolutely.
No, that made sense. And it's I think, like you said, it's cool that they did it on the board and you can see it and it's obvious.
Yeah. The less I got to worry about it as just a player, the better. If if it's already written down, like you said, or if it's like, oh, I've got the asterisk by my name, that means I got to go first.
And shout out to this board. That layout is awesome. The grid, love it.
I think it may have been like printed on there because I was like, oh, how did they do this? And it's flat. So
honestly, looking at it makes me want to ask Eric Struna if that's something he could do.
We were joking about it. We're like, somebody should reach out to Eric and tell him to start making boards.
Eric, when you're listening to this a couple weeks in the future, we want to know if you can do the boards for Team Challenge.
All right. So like I said, it's 11-11, same amount of matches. So you guys got to win 6. What was the thinking going into dubs, Jaimen?
You just nailed it.
Win 6 matches.
Yep. Yeah, so that's exactly it. As we're looking at it going, okay, this is awesome. Last time we played Bellamy, we did not do nearly as good as we were. Actually, I'm looking at it now. We were down by 4 at the half when we played them in Bellamy in 2022-2023. So we're feeling good. We know it's a super local friendly course. We know that we've got an uphill battle. And so being an even was nice. We were not in even until I think the last 2 cards came in and we pulled up pretty well. So yeah, we're just looking at it going, all right, we just need to get 6 doubles wins. They're a strong team, especially in doubles, but we've got a lot of really strong players and a lot of really strong pairings. So we were feeling pretty good about it. I felt matchups went really well.
You put Jason with Corey again?
Yeah, last time that's happening. No,
We're still 50-50.
Yeah. Undefeated J Park, let's say that.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Jason and Corey, how'd your guys' match go?
We struggled to get momentum. I wasn't playing well that day, and I felt like the holes that we did play well, like we both had great shots, and then the holes that we played poorly, we both did poorly. So it kind of just like reinforced we weren't able to get any momentum. I enjoyed playing with Corey, but it was just, we were struggling. I don't know if Corey, you have anything else?
We were like getting birdies, but we weren't like stringing them together. Jason was still putting really well, just like he was when we played Topo in New Hampshire last time. It's just like this time I wasn't really helping off the tee. I did do a better job of keeping my disc out of the water, though. So we at least used my drive once that I can remember.
You didn't bust out your lefty thumber, Corey? What's up with that?
No, I threw a really weak forehand, which is like the perfect layup for that shot, and then scrambling through the trees for an approach.
After watching like 2 cards in front of us play that hole, which is like the worst ice. It's like the one hole you don't want to get iced on, and you have to wait like 3 cards to play it. It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, Jason kind of mentioned it, but like I kept comparing it to the last time we were there, which sucked because it was like literally the high temperature was like 0 degrees and it was windy, but there was no one at the park. So like the rounds were quick. You didn't have to like be constantly watching like discs were coming from or not have a 20-minute wait on a tee pad. When we were there last week, like it was a 50-degree day in New Hampshire at like the only disc golf course around because another one is closed, or I forgot what the story was. But the place was swamped, and there's one section on the back nine of the course that literally hole 13 throws over hole 18's tee pad, and right to the left of you is like hole 14's fairway, and then you got people coming down from 16's basket, and you could be in the fairway of one hole and see literally like 30 other people playing the course in the woods. But yeah, so me and Jason just kind of slowly drifted behind the guys that we were playing, and we lost by 6, which kind of sounds like a lot, but it also kind of felt like it was going to be a bigger ass whooping, but then at the same time seems kind of close. I don't know. It had to be there, I guess, but yeah, we got our asses kicked.
Yeah, I didn't do well for the day, but I did drive Jess there, so I'm taking that as a win because she won both her matches along with Kate. So
How often did that happen this year? And I might be wrong, but I don't recall seeing you both playing a lot this year for the New England. Am I wrong there?
yeah, Jess is just kind of a fill-in for the roster.
Oh, okay.
Julia wasn't there, so she filled in for her. And yeah, I think she's played twice this season. Is that right, Jaimen?
Possibly. I was thinking this was her first time, actually. She might have been at a home match, too. Don't have the best memory.
Yeah, maybe it's only one. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, then at least my memory's not so bad that I haven't seen her a bunch. All right. I do want to shout out, you guys lost your match, but my favorite comic book writer, Peter David, won his match against Jeff Keaton. What about you, Jaimen? You play with Brian again?
Yeah. Brian and I always have pretty good chemistry. Brian's pretty good at keeping me from spiraling out. And on a course like that, with as terrible of a course design as it had, it's that's an easy one to get frustrated at stupid things and kind of lose track of what's actually important in the match. So yeah, no, we had a good time. Very, very close match. It's one of those ones that you just walk away from feeling like you're a better player for it. We were back and forth the entire time. I don't think Brian and I ever maybe held the lead, but we would tie it up. They'd take a couple on us. We'd tie it up, that kind of stuff. We'll start the match. We missed like a 20-footer, so that one's certainly biting us, but it was a really good match. We were constantly just scrapping, having to make a lot of long putts. Didn't make as much as we wanted to for birdie. I mean, looking at the score, it looks like we're 10 under, and we must have had 6 circle 2 putts that we missed. So there was a lot of room for improvement in that if we were able to putt a little bit better. But at the very end, in the last like 4 holes, we brought it back to, oh no, we did get ahead. So we pulled ahead on the 3rd to last hole. On the 2nd to last hole, I hit like a 45-foot birdie while they were parked to keep us one ahead. And then on the last hole, they parked the hole for birdie. It's one of those holes that's like a little bit nervy if you don't play the course all the time. It's this downhill hole. The basket's raised. Not sure what to throw because it's downhill. It was kind of gusty throughout the day at different spots. So, it's kind of treacherous to throw a putter downhill like that. You don't want to mess it up. And we left ours like 35 short, and they put theirs like 10 feet away. We ran our putt, missed it. They made theirs and forced the playoff. And when you have a playoff in New England Team Challenge, you just go to the next hole and keep playing. So we go to the next hole. That's the same one that we started on and missed our 15, 20-foot putt. So I never feel good about a shot when I'm trying to recreate what happened last time. But I was able to get my drive up there during the actual round. Brian is the one that actually had the good drive. And I put my drive up there, but I put a little too much on it. So it skipped like 30, maybe 35 long, kind of up against a tree, had some low stuff in front of us, another tree in the green that kind of made putting hard. You couldn't just throw directly at it. You had to putt around something. And we both missed our birdie putts, and they parked theirs like 10 feet away and took the win on the first playoff hole, which is the second time Brian and I have lost in a playoff this year. Results wise, it's certainly a bummer, but like I said, you learn a lot in those situations. That's why I disc golf, is because I really like those pressure situations, and getting into them is really elusive. So anytime I do get into them, I got to appreciate that I was able to get there and just hope I can learn enough to be successful in it next time.
It looks like you needed 6. You only got 4, but
Yep.
There's a 49.50, 46.48,
Yeah.
43.44. So were you at least relieved that wasn't because one of those other ones goes the other way, and that's the winner for the whole thing,
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that's where was it? And at one point we heard this huge roar from everybody. It was the 43-44 match. Joel made a huge putt to keep it from going to a playoff. So yeah, it was a very tight match. Everybody knew what was on the line. That was definitely one for the ages. I can't say I can't wait to go back and play there again, but I want another chance at those guys, and we'll see what happens.
So that puts you guys at 3-4. Now, Rhode Island's also 3-4, but there's also Borderlands with this Devil's Grove match that's this weekend. Do they still have an outside chance at finals?
Yes, they have an outside chance, but it's pretty outside. You can't count your chickens before they hatch. They do have a real chance at finals. So Jason went through and made a very nice graph to show their actual chance at finals and our chance at finals.
Share it.
Oh yeah, there you go. Rasta seatbelt, as Peter's calling it.
I'll share Corey, the one I made for Corey too.
The red, white, and blue one.
Yeah, PBR.
I'll use that one.
This will make for great podcasting, Pat. Everybody looking.
So what do the colors indicate, Jason?
Oh yeah, I should explain that. Red is who's playing? It's Devil's Grove and
Borderland.
Borderland. Okay. If Borderland crushes Devil's Grove more than they would even get from a forfeit, so they have to have like more players and win, then that's the red. And that would mean that DisCaptains don't make finals, which is a pretty low chance there. Yellow is if
white at the one I'm looking at the PBR.
White. Let me think about this. So what's the other team that's contending for first? That's Devil's Grove and
Tank and Devil's Grove. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So if Devil's Grove absolutely crushes Borderland and they get their percentage up high enough, they will actually beat Tank, and that's the blue. And everywhere in between is the white, which would be basically they just beat Borderland, but not enough to move up to first. And so with the white, that means we're going to be playing Tank round 1, and the blue would mean that we would play Devil's Grove round 1.
And the red is you're not playing at all. That's the least likely.
Yeah, I'd say almost impossible. But
well, Borderlands at 2-4. So if they win, you're both at 3-4. But right now they're at 47.24% as far as points percentage. You guys are at 54.14. So they would, like Jason was saying, they would need to absolutely whoop a team.
Yeah, I even was thinking like, well, what if like some weird thing where Devil's Grove forfeited, even though they're the home team. But even in that scenario, they wouldn't get enough points to push us out because they'd actually have to have more than the minimum of 36 points to push us out.
Oh, okay. You never want to say anything's a certainty, but it would be pretty bizarre. And either way, regardless of what happens, you guys aren't going anywhere, right? You guys are, you've already had the two teams. Now, can Borderlands still be relegated?
It would take a lot of lost points.
Yeah, I was going to say they're 9% over Dacey. So yeah, even with a loss, they're probably okay. So it looks like everybody in the top 4, at least right now, it's not going to move, right? So your guys got Tank in round 1?
Most likely, yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, unless you hit the blue area.
Okay, yeah. Now I understand the Pat. All right. So you guys are done until the 5th. That's when you guys have finals?
Yep.
At top of the hill.
Yeah, that's out of those finals, Devil's Grove and Bellamy. I would love to see both of them in finals again. Those were 2 of our 3 away matches, and we were very close in both of those. So I feel like we have a pretty good chance against them, and I think it would be a lot of fun to have a rematch against those 2 teams on neutral ground. Bellamy is a team that, even though we're both pretty far apart from each other, we've never played neutral. And even though this is much more neutral for us than it is for them, it still gives us a much more level playing field.
All right. We did D pool, we did C pool. Well, what about the Winter Battle Royale pool?
Good question. Got some updates to catch up on since we last discussed. Yeah, well, last week with our extra special guest, we didn't go over any Winter Battle Royale.
That's a good point.
So looking back all the way to Saturday the 15th, that's when we had the match between 9-seed JJ Knapp and 11-seed Dennis Daly, 2 Tower of Power teammates there. What I have written down about the match is that Dennis was up 4 at one point, but JJ did fight back. Dennis won 2 up, but JJ took him all the way to 18 holes, so pretty good showing there, and Dennis moves on.
So JJ is out.
JJ is out. JJ joins, let's see, Brandon Klein, Kenji Klein, Viking Joe, myself, and Tim Martino on the sidelines.
All right. And there's one other losers bracket match. Is that Tim Goyette and Eric Struna? Any word on when that might happen, Tim?
We're going to do that Thursday afternoon. So we're going to Shen. We're going to play Thursday afternoon. It'll be a good time. It's supposed to be probably the nicest weather of the week.
All right. So that's the losers bracket. And there was also a match in the winners bracket, right?
Correct. Yesterday, Semifinal showdown. Number 1 seed Josh Lee played number 7 seed Brian Monahan. It was a matchup of 2 undefeated competitors so far in the tournament. So somebody was going to take their first loss.
Where was this?
We played at Greenville.
Mm.
The Stonewall Classic layout. Took advantage of that while it's still available. I know Jason said that might be going away as the seasons progress. So actually, Tim and Brian and I went out early yesterday to get a little practice in. Of course, that was a tag match. So we were there bright and early. It was, what was the wind chill, Tim? About 11 degrees, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 11. Real feel was 11 degrees.
It was so windy, and some of those long open shots were very interesting with the wind going every which direction. But Brian and Josh got their match going around 10:30. Tim, B. Klein, and myself played another tag match kind of on a chase card, but not much chasing because those two were playing a lot quicker than we were. We crossed paths, what was that, around their 9th or 10th hole, Tim, I think?
Yeah, it was on hole 10, and Brian was down 3.
Yeah, I remember he told us that. And then we lost sight of them, so I don't know exactly how it went down. Josh won, took it down 4-3, and Brian left before we got back to the parking lot. But that sends Josh on to the finals, and he is still undefeated, so he's got 2 losses to play with. So once we get Tim and Struna's match, the winner of that will go on to face Dennis Daly. The winner of that match will go on to play Brian Monahan, and the winner of that match will get a shot at Josh in the finals. And again, he could lose and then get a rematch. So it's Josh's tournament to lose at this point.
So we're down to 5, it looks like?
Correct. Josh, and then Tim Goyette, Eric
4
Struna,
losers.
Dennis Daly, yep, and Brian Monahan's still in it.
All right. We got both halves of Camel Case. Corey still in this puppy with 5 to go. So that's not too shabby.
Tim, how are you feeling about your chances?
Against Struna, considering we were looking at UDIS the other day, and we're looking at all the matches that we played, like the head-to-heads that they do. I've only played Struna once, and I lost. So, and Corey, it was at that Prospect monthly after I beat you.
Right.
So I'm feeling okay. We'll see.
All right. Do you guys want to talk Skip Ace or Fool's Fest?
Skip Ace?
Skip Ace.
Oh, all right.
I dropped out of Fool's Fest. I'm not going, so.
No?
No, I can't. I mean, it's the day after Blatnick Breeze, 2 rounds of Blatnick from the Blues, and then, a 2-hour drive to FDR where I've never played to play whites and get my rating destroyed. I just don't think I have it in me.
All right. So Skip Ace, before we get to the picks, we had our elimination bracket. Has anybody taken a look at that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a little clip. Another week means another player eliminated from the Skip Ace Guillotine Draft League. We say goodbye with Strategic Air Command Combat, Heartland of America Band, with their version of It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday.
How do I say goodbye?
This week, it's not Mikey Botlez.
We had.
No, despite being next to last each week and having only 3 wins in 3 weeks, he's still in it. It's Jaimen Hume who we say goodbye to this week. Eagle and Missy didn't have enough to keep him in.
I thought we'd get to see forever, but forever's gone away.
And if he's quick enough, another Corey prediction can come true.
To say goodbye to yesterday.
Goodbye, Jaimen. Welcome to the club. It looks like Jaimen has been eliminated.
Yeah. I think I'm calling it the curse of the 2 seed. So this tournament was significantly harder for FPO, like unbelievably harder as compared to NPO. I think the top 2 people in NPO scored about 130 points higher than the top 2 people in FPO. And I feel like if you're not taking Kristen as the second pick, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? So I think that dug me a pretty big hole that I just couldn't get out of. My guys sucked, but I think that I put an awful lot of stock on my team in the FPO. I had Missy Gannon and Henna Blumrose and Kristen. And at the end of the day, I don't think any of that would have really changed too much. Turns out Evan Scott is a guy I should have played. He would have gotten me a lot more points, probably kept me out of there. But yeah, that tournament showed what better strategies might look like next time.
I find it interesting that Mikey Botlez has come in next to last all 3 weeks.
Have you noticed that going into the last round, he's always in last?
He has 3 wins
Yeah.
in 3 weeks. That's 1 win each week, just enough to keep him as comparison. I didn't even play last week, and I got 6 more wins than he does. That's the thing I like about the league. First place doesn't really matter. It's just about not being in last.
It's the rope-a-dope. He's just staying alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mentioned it in my little clip there, but Corey, your prediction might be right if you're quick enough on the draw from last week. I don't know if you remember your prediction that you'll pick up Missy.
If I'm trying to swap somebody out, I ain't trying to take Missy. Someone else.
Not after that week.
What's the next event?
The Supreme Flight. Oh, no. Wait.
Music
hold on,
City.
never mind.
4-4.
Music City.
Yeah.
Who's got Simon?
I do.
You just missed the cut. Heads up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was another thing, is that the cut screwed me over too.
Mm-hmm.
Eagle, right?
Eagle missed it too.
I had Eagle and Luke Taylor. So I had 2 guys who didn't make the cut. So like after, I realized like, oh shit, the women aren't getting any sort of amount of points like the guys. It didn't matter anyways, because I only had 1 guy left. And he screwed up too. I looked at the scores and they had like 6 or 7 holes left, and you dropped like 30 places. Like, fuck, I'm done. But no, it was fun. I really like that format. I hope we do it again so I can not fucking pick Kristen.
Well, it makes you think, especially since we did it at the beginning of the season. Normally, she's not even playing a lot of these tournaments, right? Doesn't she usually get over here a bit later, or no?
I don't know about usually, but she always like goes back in the middle for a little bit. She definitely misses. Like I don't know if she's ever won like Pro Tour points because she's never at all the events.
It makes the picking a little more interesting. Gives you more to consider.
Yeah.
Has anybody else noticed an auto sub in the Elimination League? For example, at the advice of my silent skip ace advisor, I dropped Katrina Allen and picked up Heidi Liney.
Ooh.
Right. She's like badly hurt. And it seems like it subbed Kona in for me, which was negative 77 points, but that was less negative points than Heidi got. So it seems like there is, I don't remember if we talked about that last week with John, but it seemed to do that in my favor. Right. He was talking about if you had 2 players on the bench, it would take the worst.
Yeah,
right.
the lower of the 2.
So for us, for FPO, I think it was really only the one choice, right? We only have 1 bench player for FPO.
Yeah, so I guess that's a bit of a flaw in the system.
So does anybody want to trade for Heidi Liney?
I scooped up your Katrina Allen, so I'm going to go no.
You can scoop up Missy Gannon, Henna Bloomrose, or Kristen Tatar if you know how to use the website.
Well, Holland's been doing well enough, so we're going to stick with her, I think.
So do we have any rules for picking up players that just whoever grabs them?
I put a claim in.
Yeah, you got to put a claim in. And then if you're the lowest person that bids, I think you get it.
That should be how it goes.
Do you still have a roster right now, Jaimen, or?
I didn't have a roster this morning, no.
Oh, okay.
I have the capability to go in and put it in a waiver for like all of his players. So
The first 2 weeks, what happened was he didn't eliminate anybody until like either late Monday night or Tuesday, and by that point, the waiver thing was over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last week he did. Like when he said right after he got off that he was going to go up and kick you out, he did.
Yeah. For obvious reasons, I didn't check, Jaimen.
Yeah, I did because I wanted to see if it worked, and I put in a waiver for Matt Oram, woke up in the morning, had the waiver, and then took him off and texted you guys, said, hey, by the way, you can pick up people if you want them to. I figured it's not fair for me to just pick up players both times, so I didn't that time.
When you said that, hey guys, you can go pick up players, was it you had to make waiver claims, or were they just
No,
free
they were
agents
wide
who could
open.
grab
No,
anybody?
Yeah.
I rolled out of bed. I saw that message. I fucking queued it up and sniped them.
Yeah.
I guess I'm trying to figure out the timing on that, because right now I have 2 pending waiver claims that are waiting to resolve, I guess.
It'll resolve tomorrow.
Midnight, 1 a.m. kind of thing.
Yeah. Actually, I think it was 4 a.m. Randy had said that that's when the rosters go live or whatever. But it's also because he's Central Time or something. So, but it should be sometime tomorrow. That's how it's supposed to work. But the first couple weeks, like I said,
Right.
Kristen wasn't eliminated until Tuesday because he emailed me asking because there was a glitch or whatever. And then last week it wasn't until like probably 11 or 12 o'clock at night or whatever time it was. But
Well, if the waiver order is set up correctly, I should have no shot.
Exactly. I didn't want to hammer him with a bunch of questions, especially after he said it was just him essentially. And I'm like, man,
Yeah.
you know.
All right. They send you an email when your waiver claim processes, and it happened at 5:01 Tuesday morning.
Okay. Which makes sense because if it's 401 there, it's 501 here. So.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that your Matty O pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at that. There's like the activity thing under league.
Anything else on the elimination?
You all suck.
How many does that leave left? Is that we've got 3 out,
Should be 7 more weeks or 6 more weeks. How many people are in?
Yeah, 7.
7 players, probably 6 weeks. So it'll get exciting.
Yeah, 6 more weeks.
So we also had our 2025 Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast listener pool for the DGPT Plus, the Open at Austin, presented by MVP and Flight Factory.
Yeah, Flight Factory discs.
Yeah, 86 players. And funnily enough, Mikey Botlez is 86th.
That son of a bitch.
He's playing some kind of long, like, mental psych out or something. I don't know. He's messing with us.
Randy Bobandy in 83rd. Flying Squirrel, 78th place. Alex's buddy Jack Straw is in 74th, tied with Adam. Brian Bickersmith in 72nd, right behind Bobby Orr.
Oh, Camel Case Bickersmith.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I think he also learned
I
from
noticed
Jaimen with the not capitalizing the first letter. Ryan Nelson in 70th. Kristen McDonald 68th. Joe Gaspardi gets the 69 this week.
Nice.
Thank you. Little Jerry Seinfeld in 63rd, right behind Turtles in Your Face, Brandon S. Klein, and Aaron Holtbeat, all tied at 60th, behind Alex Potts in 59th with 926 points. JTT, who has a star, is in 58th behind Tim Goyette, who is behind Ivan Marmota, who's tied with Andy Hamer in 55th place. Jacob Dunbar, 53rd, and Sparky Spalding, 51st. That's a lot of people in the second page, fellas. What's going on there? Front page, Ace Pop Podcast. They made picks again. 49th place behind Kenji Klein in 48th. Rob Weiss of the Mississippi, Oh How the Mighty Have Fallen in 45th place. I haven't heard Corey's name yet.
Nope.
Zach McDonald in 43rd behind me. The answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything in 42nd place. 8 points behind the other half of Camel Case, Corey Brian Monahan in 41st place. Tucker the Koala in 38th. Real Pat J. Keenan beat me again, 36th place.
Rude.
Behind the still mysterious AJ in 35th. Brian Heller, 31, tied with Amanda Dunbar. Both behind Corey Cook in 30th place. 1,116 points. Nick Warren in 29th, Biggs. Ryan Travis, 148343 in 23rd place. Kyle Hirsch, 20th place. Jason Lasasso, 18th place. Not too shabby.
These scores are kind of crazy. I mean, there's like 100 points separates like 20 positions.
Yeah.
That's why you got to pick every week.
Or 50 in the top
And that's
30.
what happens when you've got 80 people picking every week instead of 30.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point, too. It fills in those gaps. Kathleen Bemis in 16th place, like, I don't know, 60-something spots ahead of her husband. Jess Lasasso in 14th, only 4 spots ahead. Top 10, Chris Lucier in 10th place. Justin Ferris in 9th. Evan EMP Parsley in 8th place.
Ooh, almost had that lead number. 1338.
What's it, 1337 for you hipsters?
Yeah.
All right, 7th place, Kevin M. Shopmeyer. 6th place, Mike Schwartz. Both of those guys have stars. Mark Bryan in 5th place. DJ X in 4th. Bradley Sharp in 3rd. Quit Looking at Me Swan in 2nd. And just got eliminated from the Guillotine League, but in 1st place in the picks, Jaimen Hume.
That's a neat trick.
Yeah, it's a conflicting weekend for me.
Would you want to swap with Mikey Botlez? Be in last place in this league, but still alive in the other?
Barely hanging on.
No, I'll take this one. You know, the Guillotine League is our beta test is how I'm looking at it.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Who you calling beta?
85 other people. No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's a good one.
So overall standings, we've got 123 players. Not everybody's picked every week. In 123rd place, Kevitron 81. Hopefully none of us are on this back page. Let's take a look. Madman, it's got a star next to his name. Turtles in Your Face in 110th place with drop points.
I was just going to say the same thing. Dude's dropping rounds and he's all the way back there.
Let's see who's on the second page. The Ace Pop Podcast. Kenji Klein in 94th place. Mikey Botlez in 89th. Flying Squirrel 87th. Kristen McDonald 86th. Oregon Assassin in 82nd. Right behind Ryan Travis 148343 in 81st. Jason Lasasso 77th. A lot of disc golf to play or to pick. Kathleen Bemis in 74th. Jess Lasasso in 71st. Tucker the Koala, 67th. Ivan Ivan Marmota in 64th, behind Sparky Spalding, who is tied for 62nd with JTT. The still mysterious AJ tied for 57th with Ordezi. Randy Bobandy, 55th, behind Zach McDonald in 54th. And the front page, top 50. Haven't heard my name yet. Evan Parsley in 47th place. Amanda Dunbar in 44th, right behind 43rd place Corey Cook with 1,348 dropped points. One half Camel Case Corey Tim Goyette in 41st. Schwartz in 39th. I am in 36th, behind the other half of Camel Case Corey, Brian Monahan in 35th. Nick Warren 33rd. Alex Potts right ahead of your buddy Jack Straw in 31st place. But behind my nemesis, Brandon S. Klein, B. Klein as the kids call him. 28th place, Blaine Iron Dies Mandriza. Tied for 26th, got Travis Bashore. I'm just pointing that out because he's rarely up in that stratosphere there. Brian Heller in 24th, Highland Mike Warner 21st, Little Jerry Seinfeld in 16th, right behind Ryan Nelson in 15th, and Kyle Hirsch in 14th. Real Pat J. Keenan in 12th place. I do not like that because I don't think they made picks in the first week, or unless they changed their name. Brian Bickersmith in 11th, top 10. We got Stubbs in 10th. CLT Waldo, Charlotte Waldo in 9th place. Jaimen Human 8th. Winning 1 week. Get you up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so right now, because we're 3 in, it's dropped 2 scores for everybody. So it's just whatever your hottest score is.
That's a good point. I'm glad you pointed that out because I was wondering why the discrepancy between the total points and the drop scores. Thank you.
That's inside baseball.
Mark Bryan in 7th. Jacob Dunbar in 6th. Connor Eckhart is in 5th place. Dalton Schrum in 4th. 7291 in 3rd. Corey settled down, but Rob Weiss of the Mississippi is in 2nd place. And Tucker Rules, who we learned, that's a dog. Did you guys see that?
Oh, I didn't think about that. It's Eric Hanel's dog.
I did see that post.
So the dog's name is Tucker?
Yep.
I played with Tucker, it might be a decade ago at this point, but not that long ago, but I want to say I played with Tucker. He pushed him around in like a baby carriage?
Baby carriage, he would put all of his discs in his putter pocket and then use the actual like disc slot to so that when Tucker got tired, he could sit in there. Eric is very accommodating of that dog. It also helps that it's a Chihuahua, so it's not like...
So Tucker Rules, which is awesome. Is in
He does.
first place. Apparently, overall standings, Tucker definitely. So next event, we've got the FDR Fools Fest, and I thought that we could do some picks.
Yep.
All right. Jason, you got time to make some picks or no?
Sure.
All
Load
right.
up.
We got 72 in the MPO, and it looks like I think it's 10 in the FPO. So I'm thinking 1 pick in the FPO, right?
Sure.
And then for the MPO, do you want to do 3 picks and a dark horse or 2 picks and a dark horse?
Let's do last pick, 2 and 1.
So if we do 3 MPO and 1 FPO, that's 4 picks. One of the MPO's got to be a dark horse.
I'm cool with that.
All right.
Trying to find the other freaking PGA pages for this goddamn thing.
I couldn't find a link to it. Oh, Pat's got it.
I got the MPO one, but
I'm putting up the FPO in just a second.
Oh, it's a whole different freaking...
Yeah, it's with the age protected.
Yep.
yeah. So Jason, does this do anything on the back end for skip base as far as when you're like getting these events in with the different event IDs?
Let me check it because when it was first put in, it was an issue, but then it got fixed.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. It's a good question.
I saw a couple people got confused because when I posted the link, it was talking about MPO. It was just because they have on that page just MPO on. But I was able to pick 2 FPOs.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the right ones, I think.
Yeah, it seemed right to me when I did mine.
Like I didn't try changing mine after I made them, so I'm like, I mean, it must have known where to pull the registration list from some point.
All right. While you guys are figuring all that out, I'll check the overall standings of Skip Ace, and that's where our pick order will be determined.
Yeah, I don't know how the skip base knows, but it does somehow.
Caitlin's not an option in FPO right now for Skip Base Fools Fest, at least on mine.
Did you already pick her?
I picked her before. So
I had, and I went to my picks, and it just said select one.
It's gone.
Is it because she's in MPO also?
Oh,
maybe.
That could be, yeah.
Oh yeah, she just got straight up removed from my thing.
Yeah.
Well, now I don't feel bad about not picking her because I actually can.
I got to change my picks 'cause I'm pretty sure I picked her,
Sounds like everybody did.
except for Corey.
No, I did have her.
No, I'm just picking
What's the format for this?
snake style draft, and I'm figuring out right now the order, and it looks like Jason, were you the only one on the second page for the overall skip base scores so far?
Okay.
Well, that means you get the snake pick. You get 2 picks.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
Yeah.
But it was one FPO.
Oh, 1 FPO, 3 MPOs, but one of them is going to be a dark horse. While I'm doing this, figure out what's the rating level for the dark horse.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to random.org. I'm going to say, yep, verify that I'm human. Check. I'm going to say, give me a number 1 through 72. This could not work, but 20. Okay, 20. Okay.
I was going to say we could do the cash line by rating.
Say it again.
So cash line's what, 45%?
For pros, it's 40%. So that would be 28.8. So 29.
So who's the 29th
Let me
person?
count. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 974. Actually, it's me.
Nice.
How convenient.
Yeah.
So another funny thing is when I asked random.org for a number, it said 20, and the 20th person is Robert Valicki, which excludes Kyle but includes Jaimen.
I don't think Jaimen's a dark horse for this one.
It depends with which route you want to go with this.
So how many people are doing the draft? Because let's see how far that'll get us down.
No, I like your idea better.
6.
6 with 3 picks, so it's 18.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think 20 would be too high then.
No, I like your idea of someone who statistically should be out of the cash, but probably performed good enough to get into the cash. The best.
I like that.
So is it a ratings cutoff? Am I understanding that?
Yeah, anybody 973 or below, I guess.
Thank you for clarifying that.
For the listeners, so they understand. So the dark horse is somebody who's rated 973 or less, so I can't pick Jason as a dark horse. Got it.
Wait, let me double check my math quick.
No,
We're
I
not
like
sure
your
if
math.
Jason counts or not counts.
973 and a half.
What did I say? It was
I'd say do 972 to
29.
be safe because there's nobody at 972.
That checks out.
And that leaves Antonio Albert in. And I think he's won it before, right?
According to my first theory, the cash line would be a 29, which would be me. So anybody 973 or below would be a dark horse for cashing.
All right.
But I'm going to override that and say 972.
All right.
Oh, so you can't take out Antonio.
You could take Antonio Albert. He's just not your dark horse.
Or did we just go 970 or below to keep it like then they're below the pro cutoff?
There's good reasoning for that, and it only adds one person, James Kalinsky. So actually, that's a good one. That's pro. So
Yeah, because they're technically, they can play M.
they would be a dark horse. I like that.
So less than 970?
Well, it's 970. There's only one player at 970. Tyler Ferrati will count as a dark horse.
Less than or equal to?
Let me
Or,
change
or
my
just do you
circle.
want to do less than? Because then it's like people that can play M.
Okay, then what Jason said.
We're just going to keep going down
People
until
that
we're
could
like,
play
What if 968?
I got a pen here. I've crossed out so many things.
What 960?
So 969 is eligible for a dark horse. Anything above
Yes.
that is not.
Got it.
Sounds right.
The draft order, I got Jaimen, Alex, Tim, Corey, Evan, Jason. Snake draft, 4 picks total, 2 MPO, 1 FPO, and then a dark horse, which I think should have to come from the MPO division because there's only going to be 4 FPOs left. And how are we determining the winner?
I don't know.
Are we doing total standings?
Yeah,
Places, yeah.
Yeah,
places.
lowest,
Players
We're-
beat or tied.
which
No.
definitely eliminates FPO from the dark horse category because there's 10, only 4 people can pick one, and they're guaranteed a top 10 finish.
Yeah.
So, okay. Are there any other questions?
it's the sum of places.
Yes.
Some places, and you want a low score.
The lowest
Okay.
score wins the sum total of where they finish.
Do you have to wait to pick the dark horse?
No, you could pick your
Okay.
FPO, you could pick your MPO, you could pick your dark horse at any point. You just got to remember 2 MPOs, 1 FPO, and a dark horse.
You said 2 or 3 MPO.
2 MPO, well, technically 3, with the third one being your dark horse. So 2
Gotcha.
MPO
4
above
total
970, 1 below 970, and an FPO.
Okay, one more question. What happens with DNFs?
Don't pick someone that has potential.
You email John Vinders and he will tell you who he would substitute in.
If we know before tee off, I'll make every effort to get your new pick. If they drop mid round, then what do we want to do?
Somebody with the same rating.
Yeah, you could
Go
either go
full
same
skip
rating
base with us.
or just say screw you.
Or 1 rating lower, as I think is what they do. So if you pick a 970 guy, the next person available that's 969 or whatever. So the
yeah,
next rating
unfortunately.
down. We good?
Sure.
All right. Jaimen, you're on the clock.
All right, I'm going to start off with my dark horse pick. as Alden Slack.
Oh, really? All right.
All right, Alex.
I thought for sure you were going to snipe Ryan Nelson from
Damn
me, so
you.
I'm going to take him.
Man, it sucks going last.
As a dark horse?
Yeah, Ryan Nelson is my dark horse.
He's also the reason we have to choose the "is this guy going to show up" rule.
Definitely fair.
Tim, who you got? You're the third.
All right. I'll go chalk. I'll take Dylan.
Capiccioli.
Caviccioli, sorry. Yeah, too bad.
Corey.
Thank God. I can't believe he's still out there. Wyatt Mahoney.
Evan.
Steve Brinster.
It's a good pick.
At that course, yep. And Jason. 2 picks.
Let's go Kyle Moriarty for MPO and Carly Sharon for FPO. MKDGC champ.
Wait, who was your dude?
Kyle Moriarty.
Oh, yeah.
This MPO field is stacked.
It's really good.
All right, Evan. What do you got?
I'm going to take Joe Byerly.
Ooh, all right. A little bit of an unknown.
Is that a dark horse?
No, he's
No.
$9.99.
Oh,
You
there
might
he is.
know him as the number 2 tag in DisCap.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
The Royal you, Pat, not you
Oh, okay.
specifically. One might know him. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, no, I got you. Corey.
Was Carly the only FPO?
That's the only FPO that's been picked so far yet.
I'm gonna go with Michelle Gallagher, FPO.
Tim, who you got?
I'm just going to play it for fun here. I'm going to go with Dylan again. Dylan Horse.
Dylan Horst? Okay.
Horse, yep.
Oh, because you got I see. You're doing the Jack strategy of the all Pauls, but you're going
The
with
old
the all
Pauls,
Dylans.
yeah.
It reminds me of that sketch from Chappelle's Show. Who are the 5 greatest rappers of all time? Dylon, 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 and Dylon. Nobody.
Nope.
Nobody.
Nope. Who you got, Alex?
Oh, is it already back to me?
Yep.
Let's go Zach Tassone.
And Jaimen, 2 picks.
All right, I'm picking Kate Clay, and then Kyle Moriarty.
Are you picking Caitlin Clay as an FPO player?
Yes,
Kyle was already picked.
Kyle was already picked.
Jason took him.
Oh,
Otherwise, I would have.
With the 6th pick in the Fools Fest draft.
all right. I'm going to go with, I think it's pronounced Cookie Tarleton.
That's weird. I was just looking at that name. I was like, that's a weird name. All right. So you've got 1 MPO left, and you've got to wait for every. Alex, who you got?
I don't know. I probably do know. Let's go David Fleck.
Tim, are there any more Dylan?
I was hoping to see maybe a Dylan on FPO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
possible.
I'll continue with the chalk and go Alyssa Denton.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought you said Elizabeth, so I was kind of
No,
thrown.
sorry, my bad. I just merged it all together into one word.
No, you're good. I like how the kids put the tin can together for your recording tonight.
Oh, does it sound terrible?
It's fine.
It's
We'll-
not
It's
great.
different.
It's quiet at times.
We've had worse.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
When I was using my Xbox headset, the cheap one.
Corey Cook, you've got a MPO and a dark horse left.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go MPO, and I'm gonna take Matthew Geffert.
All right, Evan, you've got a dark horse and an FPO.
Based on Team Challenge update, I'm going to take Jess Lasasso.
Jason, your final 2 pick. Got a
All right.
MPO and a dark horse.
MPO and Dark Horse. I was using the skip base thing for FPO too, so I didn't realize Kate was available. But Carly's still a good bet. And Dark Horse, I'm surprised he's still there, but Phil Rascona.
Yeah. he was on my
Motherfucker,
list,
I
too.
knew I should have put the Dark
that's
Horse
right.
first.
Oh yeah,
Damn it.
yeah, I'll take him. And then for my last MPO, I'll take that kid that aced hole 15 with a mid-range, Miles Sayre.
Damn it.
I really thought I could take Phil on my comeback pick, but
All right, back to Evan. You've got a dark horse.
I'm sorry. Let's go with Harry Lehman.
Nice.
Jason didn't even pick him. He's going to have to check his brakes next time.
He's saving it for MP40. This is his first MP40 event too.
Oh, he's doing both? Nice.
Yeah, it's also his birthday weekend.
Oh, solid
Happy
pick.
birthday, Harry.
So I may have a little inside information that he may be a little hungover for Saturday. So sorry, Evan.
Well, he'll make some of that
That's
coffee, that fancy coffee, and that's his hair of the
yeah.
dog, so he'll be fine.
I'll be right back into it.
Corey, you got a dark horse, it looks like.
that's my pick.
Who's that?
You said it, Pat.
Oh, Corey Cook?
Yeah,
Corey the Dark Horse.
write him down.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, since Phil's taken, then I mean, the next best thing would be me. So me,
All right. We'll find out, won't we?
I'm cashing this year again.
Tim, I think you got a dark horse left.
Man, I was even desperate to take Corey there for my dark horse after.
Whoa, I just dropping D words.
After Harry and Phil went there, that was no.
Let me see if there's anybody, because I know that course pretty well.
You have a dark horse left?
Yeah, I'll take Jay Gorsage.
Ooh, the Tower of Power.
Yeah.
He did just go 17 down in dubs with Joe Byerly at Bellamy.
They'll be on
He
a card
did just
together.
ace hole 2 at Stonykill
Bro, with a temp basket.
and a range.
He threw a temp basket at a basket?
Yeah, it was really understable.
Is the temp basket a disc?
Nobody went JP Hafner.
JP would have been a good one.
That'd be solid. I think Josiah
Josiah
would have been good
Zogsma would have been a good pick too.
too. Yeah.
I don't know. After watching him putt 2 weekends ago, I don't think
Yeah, I would pick a lot of people over JP. I didn't even go down far enough for that one.
Alex, you got an FPO?
That sounds right. I believe Rose Shurtick is still available.
Yep.
Then let's do that.
And Jaimen's got an MPO.
Oh, gotta pick myself, Jaimen.
Ooh.
Nice. I like that you specified.
Well, Corey didn't, so I appreciate it. Corey's like, you just said it.
Making you solve a riddle first.
No, that's
I thought that was pretty clever, Corey. I liked it.
All right. So those are our dark horse picks. Whoever finishes lowest in the standings total. If anybody drops, I'll keep an eye. That is interesting that because Caitlin's in MPO, I wonder if that's why she's not able to be picked in F.
That makes the most sense because
Yeah, like Skip Ace thinks it's a glitch or a mistake. Get JVD on the horn.
Jason, you guys are doing I Love My Park Day ones, not this weekend, the weekend after?
No, it's May 3rd.
Oh, we're not even in April yet. Never mind. So May 3rd.
No, it's a month out. But yeah, hoping to do like a disc swap and some, like a tag round or something after, but it'll be good. As Evan alluded to before, we are going to be taking down the winter layout and we're still working on cutting in the summer layout. There's a few holes being added. Most of the layout will be in the woods. So be lots of volunteer days to put in the new holes. But the Hidden Forest Loop will always be playable all year. Other than that, if you want to play the winter layout, I'd say do it in the next couple weeks. And then it'll be back in October for the PGA event.
Also, I hear tell that not the Paint Bureau Pro League, but the Pro League will be back. Did you guys hear anything about that?
Yeah, Muccelli is really excited to continue that offering, fill that slot in your weekday disc golf events.
How did you guys determine? Did you guys do like rock, paper, scissors, Corey, and he beat you? Or
No, he could. No, didn't even come to that.
And it's going to be PDGA approved?
Yep, I believe so.
Yep.
He wanted me to mention that he wants to add an FPO division as well as MPO, hoping to promote the women's disc golf scene around here.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It's not till mid-April or so we'll have a couple weeks to get more details, but I think it's good to know that it's going to be around. Find out if it's going to be 18 weeks again and 2 9s, how that all works out.
Yeah, I think he did a lot of. Oh my God, yeah, okay. So he did publish this document to his page. He's got a lot of it broken out, and I believe he was modifying some of the scoring to include like a small bonus for throwing a good round. So yeah, I believe he's running a Facebook group called Pro League 2025. If you're interested,
on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. from April to September, $20 a round. Even though it's a pro league, non-pros are also welcome to play. AMs can come and try their best to cash. Amateur players may accept cash without affecting their amateur status.
he's trying to play Central Park, J Park, Wilcox, Minekill, and then SPW, Price the King. Looks like the second half of the season he's also including Greg's Porcupine Springs course, possibly, and some Prospect Park in Troy. However, I will say, in case there's any pin collectors out there from the now defunct Paint Bureau Pro League, I have a very rare collectible Prospect pin, possibly for sale.
What's the image on it? I don't remember what
An
icon
old
did he
white
use for
guy.
Prospect. Oh, probably.
Sir Prospect, I think his name was.
No, his last name is Baltimore. Garnet Douglas Baltimore, I think.
Blue Baltimore.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'll trade you like 3 CPS and 2 J Park badges for that.
Nah, I got some of those already.
All
Or
right.
do I? The J Park one I do. I don't know. I don't think it's CPS though.
All right. You got to get going, Jason?
Yeah, I'll probably bounce off. That's cool.
Or is there anything else that you wanted to mention?
Not that I can think of. Doing J South tomorrow, Corey?
Yeah, gonna do J South starting at 5.
All right, I'm going to try to make it.
Yeah, let me know.
All right. Good talking to you all. Sweet up. I'll talk to you all next week.
Peace.
Awesome.
Later.
Hi, Jason. Since I'm Jason's twin, and if I leave, there will be an even amount for trivia, I am also going to get going for today.
Well, before you go,
Okay.
anything on the volunteer event?
Yeah, that's moving. I really want more people to sign up for it. If there's 20 people, it's going to be a B tier. If there's 72 people, it's going to be a B tier. I've ordered the Players Pack discs. We're going to have trails, detours,
Ooh.
and viruses.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm excited about those.
That doesn't sound like fun disc golf.
I know, right?
Detours and viruses?
Trails are that's like the new hot driver. It's seriously good. I haven't messed around with a detour too much, but I hear it's just another excellent mid-range. And then the virus is kind of a staple in people's bags if they need an understable fairway. But yeah, so I got those. MVP is donating a bunch of stuff to the raffle that I'm going to have for volunteers. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm just going to have people who play the tournament, fill out a form if they volunteered, and then I'll just double check that list with the people that they said that they volunteered for to make sure that they're telling the truth. So that should be pretty painless. But MVP just threw in 12 lab second discs, and then I don't remember their exact names, but 2 different sizes of their storage racks. I think one's 1 shelf and one's 2. So I'm super excited for that. I've got a basket in there. Dave Martin's throwing in a bunch of autographed discs that he's collected. And then Common Roots also has thrown in free beer tokens.
God damn it. Why did I get scammed into playing freaking Welcome to the Jungle? I could be out here raffling.
There's time. And those free beer tokens, those are just going out to any volunteer who's playing the event. That's not a raffle prize, but I've got 40 of them, so I'm going to be dividing them up however much I need to. So if I get 10 volunteers, y'all get 4 free beer tickets. Just please don't use them at the same time. I'm going to look like an asshole. Yeah, Common Roots has a tap room in Albany and then the brewery in South Glens Falls. So that is not a local person only thing. So yeah, I need to advertise all of that stuff a little bit more, but signups are open. So get in on it. Moreau and Jenkinsville are going to be in very good shape come the tournament, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. But thank you, Jason and Jaimen.
Bye.
Corey, J-Dubs, we didn't get an update from last week. How'd that go?
Yeah, it was the first week of the season. We had 20 people show up. Yeah, I think there was 19 in the pre-dubs and 20 for the first official week. It was like 65 degrees out or something. It was crazy warm out. Yeah, we played Jay West, went pretty well. Chadman Dryza and Justin Muccelli ended up winning it. Something I started doing this year, I'm going to try it out, is the disc that I've collected as far as donations has gotten quite large. So every week I'm going to randomly select one of the registrants to get a free disc out of the donation bin. That was Joe DeSkulka this past week. And also doing a free CTP, which Chevin Dryza won that one as well, on hole 7. And then Sky Hassler parked hole 11 for cash CTP, winning $20. And yeah, the following week we're going to be playing J South.
All right. Has Stonykillers Dub started up, Alex?
We did our pre-dubs this past week. We ended up with like 27 people, I think. It was like 70 degrees that day. It was super gorgeous. I don't remember who won. It was Tyler and his partner, but I'm blanking on who his partner was at 10 down. But we got the full 18 and didn't even need to do front 9 twice. So feeling really good.
All right. And looks like there's about 5 spots left for the 2025 Riverside Rambler and a tea sponsorship. Join today and help us fill up for the 3rd time. And starting this Monday, today, which by the time you hear this, it will mean nothing, but on Mondays, they'll be doing coursework, weather permitting, starting about 4:30. We have a great, hardworking group of volunteers, but we're always looking for new faces to join us. I will not be one of them because I'd be there for an hour and have to leave to record this shit. So anybody here planning on doing the Wilcox warm-up?
I'm thinking about it. It's on my list for sure.
Yeah, I clicked follow, so I'm getting emails about it, but that's about as much as I've committed.
Yeah, tomorrow should be open registration.
Not following it for some reason. May 17th. What else is going on?
For your guys' benefit, the Discap Flex 2 is open tonight. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, good call.
Well, it's a B tier, the Wilcox warm-up.
And it's tea times over 2 days, I think.
That's the thing, Corey. That might be why, because it's May 17th and 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's what, an hour 15 each way to play around?
Yeah, it's really not that bad.
I could probably do it if I played early Saturday.
And then play early Sunday.
Well, Sunday's more open in general, but do you have to have the same tea time each day? I haven't even really looked at it.
It's based on your score. That's why I'm saying you'd have an early.
Oh, it's not. I'm thinking sorry, I just was talking about the flex. I'm thinking, I'll pick my tea time. It's not like that.
No, it's like a pro tour.
It's like actual competition. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah, what would you play? MA40?
I would be, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You guys get the matinee special.
Do you get to pick your first tea time or no?
That's what I'm wondering.
Generally not. You can request a tea time, but you can't guarantee anything.
It would still, at the worst case, be in your group, typically.
Yeah.
Corey's saying old guys early.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I prefer it. I can't get a lot of my disc golf buddies to play around before 10:30 on a weekend. Not counting Camel Case Corey. Those guys are always there.
Because they're all retired?
No, it's because they're all young and don't have children and they want to sleep in on Saturday, and I'm up at 6:30 regardless. So they do have a tentative tea time schedule, like what order the groups will go off in.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like 8 a.m. to like 4 p.m.
Yeah, 8 a.m. for FA3 to MPO at 4:15. Something to look at.
Is it MA40 or MP40 that you're playing?
MA40 would be mine, kind of right in the middle. It's doable. I just have to schedule it with my event coordinator.
You guys up for a quiz?
Yep.
All right, so I do have standings for disc or no disc.
Okay.
Does anybody want to guess who has the most wins for 2025?
Do I get a point if I get it right?
You get nothing.
Evan Parsley.
Yeah, it's definitely.
We got 3 players who have 1 win. Chad Larson, Jacob, and Corey.
Hey.
Got 2 players with 3 wins. Randy Bemis and Tim Goyette. He's not even on every week. He's got 3 times as many wins as Corey. Jaimen's got 4 wins. Alex has 5, and Evan has 7.
Yeah, not surprised at that one.
Wait, has Evan lost?
Yes, once that I can think of.
This week when he's paired with me.
There you go.
Well, Corey, since you have 1 win and you have a guy with 3 wins, 5 wins, or 7 wins, who do you want to team up with?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the guy with all the wins.
Is that 8 wins versus 8 wins? Like if you combine them?
Maybe.
Now you're mad.
Yeah.
5
it
and
is
3, 7 and 1.
5 and
Yeah, there
3
you
and
go.
7 and 1. Yep.
Evenly matched.
Pat, I just want to remind everybody the only reason I'm on the podcast is because I asked you in person at the Stonewall Classic if I could play trivia sometime. So thanks again for having me on.
Did you see the clip of Kat on the, what was that?
WMHT field trip.
Field trip thing? Did you see that?
No, Pat doesn't watch videos.
I don't-
Oh, that's
yeah,
right,
no.
Pat. You need to go on DisCap and watch that video.
I didn't even watch the video that Corey posted about Smashbox. So
Oh, that little clip.
Local Public Access did a little 8-minute video about getting lessons from Kat and doing a doubles tournament at SPW.
I did read the post. I didn't watch the clip.
Yeah, it was cool. I forget the guy's name. The woman's name is Nicole, and they go around local, I don't know, meet people doing stuff, and they learn how to do the stuff. And they did disc golf, and they got some lessons from Kat, and she was on camera a bunch, and then there was some kind of event at SPW. I don't remember when or what that was, but the segment was cool, and it featured local disc golf.
It was a fun little clip that had Kat giving like pointers on how to throw and putt. They played around and Kevin was in it.
Oh, yeah.
Cranky?
That's why I was wondering what the event was, because it looked like he was like running something.
I think they just showed up to Dot Friday.
Oh, okay. They kept saying tournament. I'm like, what kind of like unsanctioned event was happening? Yeah, it was just Friday dubs. That
I
makes
think it was
sense.
Friday Dubs that they called
Yeah,
it.
okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, but it was a good shout out for Kat.
No, absolutely. All right, so disc or no disc, got 3 categories. First 2 to be picked will be used. The other one will be held for a later date. Evan and Corey, what category? Category 1, Category 2, or Category 3?
3.
Category 3? All right. Question 1, Category 3. The crust of what type of traditional English pie is made with mashed potatoes? The crust of what type of traditional English pie is made with mashed potatoes?
It's not Shepherd's.
Well, yeah. You know, there's like the one other obvious.
What is it?
Yeah, but yeah, Shepherd. I think it's Shepherd.
Oh, so you wanted to point out there was another obvious answer, but then didn't want to say it.
Yeah, I don't want to say it. Yeah.
But then still went with my answer, even though now it sounds like you think that the other answer is the answer. That's why you don't want to say it.
I just wanted to acknowledge that the other answer popped in my head, but I like yours, so we're gonna go with it.
So Shepherd?
Yeah.
Is the shepherd a disc?
The other answer was cottage pie.
Sounds disgusting.
Well, the difference is cottage pie is beef and shepherd's pie is lamb, but I don't know if the shepherd's a disc. Didn't that come up with the dogs?
Yeah, am I having deja vu right now?
I can't confirm.
He's
or
been
deny.
talking about doing a round where it's either stuff that was used already, if it was old enough, or is it a new disc. I'm not in a good headspace right now.
I don't
This
like
is not
Shepherd
that
being a
old, though.
disc, but I feel like it is.
Tim
now.
remembers. Of course, Tim knows if
It's
it
from
was.
like the end of September or something like that.
Yeah, this was. This is a disc.
Agreed. Yes.
You guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
Goliath Discs, March 3rd, 2025.
Nice.
Oh, so it wasn't a disc.
From episode 242, September 27th, 2024.
Randy and Alex, question 3, category 3. The crust of what type of traditional English pie is made with mashed potatoes?
It's either cottage pie or shepherd's pie, right? That's all we got. Quite the departure from the dog thing.
Yeah.
Unless it's named after a dog that I don't know about.
Would you call that the crust? I'm imagining like mashed potatoes mixed into the dough.
Oh.
I don't know if that's what
Yeah.
they're going for. What?
I get what you're saying.
I also get what you're saying though, because it's the quote unquote lid of cottage pie or shepherd's pie.
Can you think any dogs? Any dog related food? I got nothing.
What are like English dogs? There's an English boxer. No.
They're all German. Now that I'm like thinking of all the dog names, they're all German. Every one of them.
There's an English bulldog. That's what I was thinking of.
Corn dog.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me either. Oh man, do we just go shepherd's pie? Oh wait, shepherd, like just shepherd, German shepherd. Oh my god,
Oh my God.
just shepherd's pie.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that.
Okay, let's go with it.
Good call. Oh my goodness, is the
Jesus
shepherd
Christ.
a disc?
I thought you guys were fucking doing that on purpose.
No, I thought it was like who's on first. I don't
Yeah, you're like German. Holy hell! Sorry.
Is the shepherd a disc? I have had that same feeling like several times. So yeah, I understand it. Is the shepherd a disc? Was that the question?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it, but I think we still say yes.
Yeah, I think we just go yes
Yeah.
all the way.
I'm sorry, no.
Oh man, it's only backfired 4 times now.
All right, Alex and Tim, category 1, 2, or 3.
I don't know. What do you want?
Let's do one.
Let's do it.
All right, question 1, category 1. A moraine is the name for the material and debris deposited over time by what as it moves on? A moraine is the name for the material and debris deposited over time by what as it moves on?
That would be a glacier.
Cool.
You guys agree?
Yes,
Is the glacier a disc?
100% Discmania.
I believe it.
Gannon Burrs.
The first time I asked this question, it was a Rogue Iron disc, January 15th, 2024. Then they changed the name of it to the Taiga. And then on January 23rd, 2025, Discmania put out the glacier. So I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to re-include that question that I've asked before.
Yeah, we got
I
some.
wonder if they
revision
paid
history.
him under the table to like drop it so they could get it, or some kind of legal contract.
It's interesting.
From episode 208, February 2nd, 2024.
Jeff and Alex, what category, 1 or 2?
You got a preference?
Let's just go to. Let's
Sounds good
just
to me.
be different.
Category 2, question 1. A moraine is the name for the material and debris deposited over time by what as it moves on?
Sounds like a glacier to me.
All right. It sounds about right. I'm trying to think of major events that leave something behind it to that effect. I'm going to agree with Alex and go with Glacier.
Is the glacier a disc?
So the berg is a disc. My instinct is no.
Glacier might be a type of plastic.
Yeah,
I'm going to say no also.
I like no.
Rogue Iron, January 15th, 2024.
Dang.
Rogue Iron.
What's a glacier? It goes like very slow and is really big. And
Powerful.
Doesn't do anything.
It's a 1-speed disc.
It sculpts landscapes.
Yeah. Crashes into everything.
Leaves behind people named Maureen.
All right, so we're 2-2. Evan and Corey, category 1 or category 3?
You pick this one.
No, go ahead, keep driving.
Okay, yeah, let's go with 3 again.
Question 2, category 3. What term is used to describe something that transmits sound, electricity, or other forms of energy? Sarah Caldwell was one. What term is used to describe something that transmits sound, electricity, or other forms of energy? Sarah Caldwell was
A conduit?
That did pop in my head. I do like that a lot. I don't get the name reference.
Me neither.
Sarah Caldwell. Sarah Caldwell.
The only Sarah I know is McLaughlin, and the only thing she was a conduit was for changing the channel. Right? She had the animal commercials.
The tearjerker commercials.
Yeah.
And- yeah,
that
it's
took
so
a little bit.
depressing.
Never get $1 out of me, though.
Yeah, I like it, Corey. That was definitely a thought I had, and I don't have a better one.
Yeah.
And I can see, like, I don't get the context, but I can see a person being a conduit for something. So I like it.
Yeah, I'm just a conduit of the voice of the people. Show me conduit, Pat.
Alex and Tim, what term is used to describe something that transmits sound, electricity, or other forms of energy? Sarah Caldwell was one.
I had written down conduit already.
I think it's conductor.
Could Sarah Caldwell be a conductor? Sure.
That's what made me think conductor.
Yeah, I mean, like wire could also be a thing, but I don't know if a person can be a wire.
Yeah, I don't know.
Omar coming.
The Wire, the show. That's a
Wire.
that's a
I-
reference to the show The Wire.
Yeah,
I knew there was a show The Wire. I have never seen the show The Wire.
I've heard it's great though.
Me too.
That's what hit me was conductor, and I know that can be a thing. You can be a conductor.
Yeah, it definitely makes
Music on
sense
the
to me.
train or whatever else.
No, I'm with you on conductor.
Cool.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Is the conductor a disc?
Don't know. It's not an MVP disc that I know of.
Is there like a train company?
Probably.
The engineer there?
I think I'm happy with yes. It seems like a pretty good disc name.
Doesn't sound bad. There's themes to it, so I'm good with it.
Let's do it.
All right.
You guys agree?
Going with yes.
I'm sorry, no.
Should have
But
gone with no.
That was a steal. What category? 1 or category 3?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, I have a vague idea of number 3, but it's not particularly strong and it's not going to help me much.
Do you want to try to prove you know what number 3 is by getting another one to help you figure it out?
But it works for me. I'm happy going either way.
Let's go for 3. Let's go.
Let's do it then.
Question 3, category 3. What word refers to a person or resource that provides direction or assistance, especially in unfamiliar situation? What word refers to a person or resource that provides direction or assistance, especially in unfamiliar situation?
Is that a guide?
Could be a guide. Guide makes sense given what we've got so far.
Yeah, it does actually. Now that I look back at the last,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. That's all. The only thing that popped in my head right off the bat.
I mean, I had a couple of things pop into my head, but I don't like them any better than guide, so I'm not going to say them and give them points just in case.
You know how Evan loves that.
Exactly. I'm not going to be Jaimen tonight.
All right, I'm good with it. If it's the best, I think. I don't know. It flows with the other.
Let's do guide.
You guys agree?
Yep.
Is the guide a disc?
Good call.
Isn't it old Discraft?
Could be. I do not know. It seems like a reasonable disc name.
Yeah. For some reason, I feel like I played with Danny White. He had one for whatever reason.
Works for me.
All right. Yes, Pat.
Full turn discs, January 23rd, 2023.
Never mind.
Well, there you go.
All right. Evan and Corey, category 1 or category 3? You're down 5-2.
Category 1.
Yeah.
All right. Question 2, category 1. What type of eggs may or may not have outdoor access? The outdoor space may be small or fenced in, and the amount of outdoor space and the type of space the hens have access to can vary. What type of eggs may or may not have outdoor access? The outdoor space may be small or fenced in, and the amount of outdoor space and the type of space the hens have access to can vary.
Think you know this one, buddy?
This is quite the riddle.
I think I know it, and I can tell you why.
Hang on, wait. What type of eggs? I'm not going to be able to read that question back. What were your thoughts?
So it's talking about eggs and the amount of space they have, which would refer to the chickens, which makes me think of the conversation with Jason about what qualifies as range eggs. I think the answer is range. You could have him read it back and see if that makes sense in context, but I think that's it.
Cage free, and was that range? There was no range free. It was just either.
Well, we were talking about what does free range mean.
I said cage free.
Are they free?
Chicken.
I think the answer is the word range.
Free range versus range. Yeah, I like range.
You guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the rain a disc?
Good callback.
Yes, it is.
Do you agree, Corey?
No, yeah.
Streamline Discs, August 19th, 2024.
Woo.
I would not have gotten that one.
I had a hard time not laughing about that. That's Pat driving down the road and seeing what the difference is between free range and chickens and all that stuff.
Alex and Tim, category 1 and 3. You guys are up 5-4.
3 feels like it's a pretty good, theme so far. I don't know what 1 is.
Yeah, I don't know either one. So you want to keep going with 3?
Let's do it.
All
right. Question 4, category 3. Whose performance at the 2024 Super Bowl warned may cause singing, dancing, sweating, gyrating, and possible relationship issues? Whose performance at the 2024 Super Bowl warned may cause singing, dancing, sweating, gyrating, and possible relationship issues?
2024 Super Bowl was it? Wait, this is where I get confused. 2024 season or the year 2024 Super Bowl?
I assume it's the year 2024 Super Bowl.
All right, so it's the one before the last one
with Kendrick.
Yeah, so wasn't that Rihanna?
I think it was Rihanna, but that doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
Who guest starred? There had to be other people who showed up, didn't they?
Yeah, there were. I don't remember, but yeah, there usually always is. Rihanna had god awful red leather outfit with her pregnant floating in the middle of the platform and field.
Was she 2024?
Or was she 23?
I don't know.
So who are more recent ones? Let's think.
Well, here's the thing. I was with you that 2024, and then I started thinking of potential things that worked, and I'm pretty sure Usher did a Super Bowl.
Oh, that makes a ton of sense. I don't care when it was. I'm good with Usher. That makes so much.
But I was so with you that Rihanna did 2024.
I don't. Yeah, I don't care if you're that. That just I'm writing it down. That's what That's what the answer. It's Usher.
I think it works enough with the
Yes.
with the theme.
Yep.
So let's
Yep.
do it.
Let's go.
You guys agree?
Yep.
Is the Usher disc?
Nice call.
Damn it! I stopped paying attention. I thought you guys weren't going to get it. I didn't realize you came back to Usher.
I had to mute my mic.
Nice job, Alex. That was awesome.
Not that I remember from that. It was just literally the first name that came to my mind that fit
Yeah.
somewhat with the other names.
I would have sworn that Usher was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I thought he was at least 22.
I didn't think he was still relevant, but apparently, I mean, the Super Bowl is kind of known for bringing people back, right?
That's
Are you saying Usher is washed?
No,
It's a hot take. I'm just clarifying.
Is the Usher a disc? I don't like it as a disc.
No, no, I'm going. That's a terrible.
You guys agree?
Let's go no then.
Yeah.
We're correct.
Nice.
All right. 7-4. Evan and Corey, what do you got? Category 1 and 3.
Category 1, Pat.
Yep.
Question 3, Category 1. What geological formation is typically characterized by steep cliffs, often carved by rivers, and is commonly referred to as a deep valley? What geological formation is typically characterized by steep cliffs, often carved by rivers, and is commonly referred to as a deep valley?
Well, first one would be canyon, obviously.
Yeah,
You also have your gorges.
that's the one I thought of, but I like Canyon better.
I'm not saying that I like gorge better than canyon. Canyon almost kind of seems too obvious, but gorge was the first thing that came to my mind before I thought of canyon. I still think I lean towards canyon, though.
I do too.
Okay, so
I went through the same emotional process as you, and I came out with Canyon. So
yeah,
let's do it.
yeah, let's go
You guys
canyon.
agree? Is the canyon a disc?
Okay.
Should I continue my trend of guessing Lone Star if it sounds vaguely Western?
I kind of like canyon as a disc. It's kind of like a cool name, cool word.
I like it as a disc. We've had 2 guesses so far. I don't
I'm
know
not
if I've
gonna lie
seen
though.
one.
Writing down the word canyon, that does not look like a word anymore.
You'd have to do it in the right font.
Yeah, whatever Notepad uses is not good. So we say yes.
Oh, you said write it down. Like I'm literally writing it down.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's 2025. When I say write it down, I mean I typed it, and at least it was on a keyboard and not like on a touchpad.
You mean you don't have a journal that you've written down all the previous trivia questions in?
No, that's borderline cheating. So yes, it's a disc, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
You guys agree?
Doesn't have a stamp.
It was a Trash Panda Disc Golf. It was a prototype January 13th, 2025. It is retooled for March 10th, 2025.
Nice.
Kevin throws it all over the place. Come on, Evan. You didn't know that?
Now that you say it,
Remember he
Yeah.
gave us a whole lecture about it at Burbine.
well, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe I didn't retain that.
Alex and Tim, you're up 7-6, but you're got a question in hand. What category? 1 to 3.
Let's keep going. You right, Alex?
I've been muted this whole time.
Yeah. Alex, you're muted.
Motherfuck.
Yeah.
Yep. I agreed. I think we do at least one more in 3.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Question 5, category 3. In Homer, Athena appears to Telemachus in the guise of what man whose name later came to refer to any advisor? In Homer, Athena appears to Telemachus in the guise of what man whose name later came to refer to any advisor?
Ugh. I should know this. I'm not going to know it though. Okay. So any advisor.
Pat, can you repeat it again? I'm just trying to remember.
In Homer, Athena appears to Telemachus in the guise of what man whose name later came to refer to any advisor?
Tim, you got anything?
Can I get it? Can I get the question one more time?
I'm sorry, no. I only give
Okay,
one
perfect.
repeat. I apologize.
Yeah.
I'll give one to when they steal, but
We got Athena appeared to Telemachus as someone, and that someone's name came to be known as any advisor.
This word, just mentor, is all I can come up. That just popped in my head when you rephrased it for me. Mentor popped in my head.
It is literally better than anything I came up with because I came up with nothing. So
As you gave me that, I'm like, as an advisor to somebody, a mentor. That's all I
sure,
got.
why not?
you guys agree?
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Is the mentor?
You gotta be kidding.
Good pull.
Nice pull.
That's a hell of a pull.
Well, I appreciate the reread there, Alex. That's what I needed. Isn't that a Discmania disc?
Mentor, yes. I'm gonna go with yes.
I think it's a Discmania disc.
Like there's a sensei for Discmania.
Yeah,
so
and they have like that Taylor. I think it's somewhere in there. I think it is.
let's do it.
All right.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Originally the Sea Serpent, Discmania, April 3rd, 2019. Evan and Corey, category 1 to 3.
1.
I'd stick with 1.
Question 4, category 1. Earth's longest mountain range is the mid-oceanic what, which is over 30,000 miles long. Earth's longest mountain range is the mid-oceanic what, which is over 30,000 miles long.
First word, rift.
That's a good one. I'll give you one more word that popped in my head. It was fault.
I was just gonna say fault.
Okay. The Mid-Atlantic. No, I think rift sounds better in the context of Mid-Atlantic.
Oh, wait, was it mid-Atlantic or mid-oceanic?
Mid-oceanic.
Okay, same difference. I like rift, and bonus points, it's a fish song, so that could always be a secret category, maybe. I don't know about the rest of them. I like rift.
Be a secret category.
God, was that you?
Well, okay, so the only fault I know of is the San Andreas fault, right? And that's like on land, right?
Yeah, so the fault is where two plates rub together, and like I could see how underwater that might cause like a giant mountain range, but I like rift way better.
Yeah, okay.
And if it's not, then they'll get it right, and that's fine.
Sure, yeah. Rift.
You guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
What do you got, Alex and Tim?
Okay.
Earth's longest mountain range is the Mid-Oceanic what, which is over 30,000 miles long.
Got to be a ridge, right?
Yeah, I'm good with that. I thought it was a rift too, because I know it's a disc.
Rift would be a valley. It wouldn't be a mountain range.
Okay, Mr. freaking science guy. What were you, Bill Nye?
Isn't that what you said, Corey? Didn't you say ridge? I thought that's what Corey said. I didn't agree. Check the tape. I didn't agree. We weren't all in.
Yeah, I'm good with that, Alex.
Yeah,
You guys go with
feeling
ridge?
Yeah.
Is the ridge a disc?
See, now I feel like maybe I've been hearing this thing wrong my whole life. They've been saying ridge this whole time.
This is like a Pam Pan situation.
Yeah.
The ridge roller.
Yeah, I don't
All
know.
of these have been yes, so
True. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Where's a coin?
I don't have one.
Yeah, neither do I. Keep the trend or break the trend? I don't know. I don't think it sounds. I don't know.
It easily could be a DGA disc.
Yeah, I know Rift is an actual. So that's
Yeah.
why I thought that was it, because they have Rift. They have on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess I'm cool with it. Let's go with you.
Let's go for it.
You guys agree?
Yep.
Yeah.
Vibram Disc Golf, December 3rd, 2009. And that was a steal, so category 1 or 3.
If we don't go 1, then we get both 6s. So I think we want to go with 1.
Yep, I'm good with it.
Question 5, category 1. What homophone can mean to arouse interest, a quick look, and reach the highest level? What homophone can mean to arouse interest, a quick look, and reach the highest level?
Is that a peak?
I'm 100%.
Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Is the peak a disc?
There is Latitude 64.
I believe it.
What year?
Ooh, either early this year or late last year, but I'm going to go with this year. I'll say 2025.
Latitude 64, November 18th, 2024.
Nice.
That's
Good
what you get
game.
for being a little too cocky. Evan and Corey, category 1 or 3.
Let's stick with 1.
Yeah, I agree.
Question 6, category 1. When a coral reef forms around an island and the island gradually sinks into the sea, what remains is what type of ring-like coral island? When a coral reef forms around an island and the island gradually sinks into the sea, what remains is what type of ring-like coral island? I just realized they used island like 3 times in that.
An anemone? An anemone?
I think that's an animal, but I like where your head is at.
A reef?
No, that wasn't the question.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah, coral reef. Okay, yeah. I mean, they all do seem...
Yeah, it's all geological features. It's just whatever this one is called.
But they are all kind of like mountainous. Even canyon is a little... Some rock associative word with coral.
I really don't know. And we can't win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where does SpongeBob live? What's that place called? That's the answer.
Bikini Bottom. Yeah. We're going to go with Bikini, Pat.
What do you got, Alex and Tim?
I think it's an atoll.
Yeah, sure. Great.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
It's the atoll. Yes.
I don't feel bad about that.
Wait.
Well, here's the thing.
As in Bikini Atoll?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Which is what Bikini
Stop.
Bottom is based off of in SpongeBob. So
Now that you say atoll out loud, I'm like, wait, Bikini Atoll is a phrase in my brain
Yeah.
somewhere.
it's hypothesized to be based on that. I don't know if it's ever been confirmed.
Because that's where they did underwater nuclear testing, right?
Yeah.
Wow. See, Corey, I told you.
You were onto something.
Wow. Okay. Is the atoll a disc?
I don't know.
I'm going to say yes because everything else has been yes.
That's wild.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but I'm happy to say yes to continue the pattern.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no.
Baited.
Good.
And outsmarted. It's true.
Final question for Alex and Tim. What term is used to describe the part of an army in the front position or the forefront of any field? What term is used to describe the part of the army in the front position or the forefront in any field?
The first thing that popped into my head was Vanguard, but that might actually be the
I
backside.
think that's the backside.
Yeah, who's like the front lines? Forefront. That's not a good disc name.
Well, I was thinking with the other things for chaperones. What I don't know why that. I doubt that's an army term, but that's what to fit the category and like lead. But
It could just be the leaders.
the leaders. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think we need to stress too much about this one.
No, I don't think so either. So I'm coming up with chaperone. And I don't know if you want to go with the leaders. It'd be fun.
I think chaperone's probably a better answer.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Evan and Corey, what term is used to describe the part of the army in the front position or the forefront of any field?
My first guess was fodder, but then,
They were right. It's Vanguard.
oh really? Because then I thought about. Anyways, yeah. So it was Vanguard.
I am 87% sure.
Yeah, cool. Vanguard.
Did it.
You guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
Is the Vanguard a disc?
Damn, you guys had it. Then you're like, actually, that's the backside.
I do not know. Well, now I know, but
We-
I did not know then.
We allowed Evan to be Evan. That sucks.
Yeah,
true.
you guys
True.
did. Oh,
Yeah, you figured out my secret. I don't really know anything. I just steal other people's answers.
Right now, you guys are exactly halfway. They're at 14-7. If you get this right, you'll get above half.
wow, the score got that bad. I wasn't even paying attention.
Oh yeah, they ran away with it. Yeah.
Okay, so we need this. Is the Vanguard a disc? Yeah, that's like way too obvious of a disc name.
Yeah, I think isn't that Discmania?
I don't want to get too specific.
Okay, fine. I think it is a disc though.
Can I get bonus credit?
You guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
Discmania, what year?
I think it's 2023. It's a Kyle Klein signature series.
June 5th, 2023.
Wow.
No points for Alex and Tim, but Evan
But
Corey-
penalty points actually to be assessed for answering our bonus unofficial question, which I think that last I checked,
that's
that was worth like
negative
6
7
points.
points.
Yeah.
Damn. That sucks.
But it's only -7 for Tim because I didn't say anything.
There you go.
Mm.
So if this was J Dubs, it would have been like 2 B's against an A and a C. Is that how that went down?
Yeah,
Maybe? I
yeah,
don't know.
exactly.
I would have said 2 B's versus 2 A's, but that's,
No, I just mean it like in terms of they both added up to 8. I'm not trying to nothing against my man.
No,
Corey.
I am definitely a C, and you were definitely an A, and then sure, I guess Alex is a B plus, and Tim is a solid B. Those are the teams you got to watch out for. Is those high B teams.
Mhm.
Yeah, and those guys are both tall. I don't trust it. I don't know.
You get one guy who can throw far, the other one who can putt, you're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing I had, anything about the Blatnick Breeze, anybody here playing it?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Nope.
You guys are both playing it?
Yeah, we're both. We're
Oh,
both
I see.
projecting ourselves. To that.
this is going to be Tim's baptism into the MA40 division.
Yep.
Ah.
We didn't do picks because it's got 6 in Pro, 1 FPO, 11 MA1, 1 FA1. Eric Heinel, Aaron Holtby, Tim Goyette, Evan Parsley, Terry Hudson, correspondent Joe Karen, and Jay O'Leary. Who's winning that division, Corey?
Damn. I'm gonna say Terry Hudson or Joe Karen. I'm gonna say Terry Hudson.
All right. Anybody have a different winner for the MA40 division?
Evan Parsley.
See, he doesn't even go against himself, Corey. Even when he he has to vote himself. Doesn't pick against a team. Doesn't pick against himself.
Dumb
That's still
pick.
pretty impressive. You got Fools Fest with what? 2 divisions playing on Saturday? How many people are playing on Saturday? Just 1 division?
Just MPO.
Just MPO? Okay. Yeah. And they still got 6. Randy Bemis. Anything else before we go?
Tonight, Prospect Park doubles was canceled, so instead I participated in a 6-person tag match, which was my 26th tag match of the year.
Dang. Feels like you're way ahead of schedule.
Is that in the lead still?
Oh yeah, that's comfortably in the lead at the moment. 83 days into the year, that puts me on pace for 114 if I can keep this up.
Why was it canceled?
I'm not 100% sure. That's a question for Jay Gorsage, but he posted on Facebook, and that's all I know. Something about the gates were locked yesterday, maybe, but that wasn't the case today. I'm not sure. Actually, something real quick I thought of in terms of tags, because Disc Golf Scene is, we've talked about this a little bit, I think. They used to call it Classic View and Mobile View, and now they're calling it Old View and New View. And one thing for sure that is different is when you are trying to put in a tag match and you go to select the course that you want. With the New View, the mobile version, it's just a single drop down, but it has about 642 options. And they're all like, they're kind of alphabetical, but then it starts a new category, but you don't see that header. And it's just a mess versus the old view where you pick which state you played in and then which course from a nice clean list and then which layout. So if anybody's listening, either that can go behind the scenes on Disc Golf Scene or figure out why it's such a mess, trying to find your course when you're doing a tag update is not easy. That's my rant.
All right, that's fair. Just updating the disc or no disc standings. Tim just passed Randy, tied Jaimen for third place, and Alex is within one of Evan. All right, so thank you, Alex, Corey, Tim, Evan, Jaimen, and Jason, and sweet up some Alex.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
We mentioned a birthday, didn't we?
Harry Lehman.
Happy birthday, Harry.
Yeah, that's the one I know of.
Bjorn Holm and Zach LeBlanc. Couple Sky
Today is my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thanks. And no Randy tonight.
Friggin' Randy.
Yeah, apparently he was at a bachelor party for the weekend.
Yeah, we blame him for our loss this weekend.
He said to do that. Yeah, he said, because I was like, well, do you have any comments on the match? And he's like, I wasn't there. You can blame me for the loss.
But no harm, no foul on that one, so not too worried.
DisCaptains also had a match, right?
Yep. We sure did.
All right, well, this would be a fun night.